Okay, what I'm going to do coming up in the next segment is I'm going to start just playing this FBI training video. And then after we're done analyzing it and this state of fear, this making the American people the enemy, then we'll go into the real history of the FBI, the real history of the feds, and what they're really doing so you understand what's really going on and how they want to make us violent. They want to provocateur. They want to cause that to happen. We're also going to have HDTV, Mark Cuban's TV network station, in here filming what I'm saying and doing, so that should be interesting. They look like nice folks. They look like they're on a rabbit hunt in here. Let's go ahead and talk to Chris in Maryland. Chris, you're on the air with Mike Rivero. Go ahead.
Hey, gentlemen. Good to hear you. I'm just reading on the Internet from various sources here that we need to, that I see that they're trying to divide and conquer possibly us, but the people themselves from getting the real news. It says Senators Jay Rockefeller and Olympia Snowe have reintroduced Bill S-773 to give Obama clear-cut abilities to shut down the Internet. Your thoughts?
Tell you what, do me a big favor and turn your radio off, number one, so I can actually hear what you're saying. You prefaced that with trying to divide us. And I get these nonsensical emails every day. Why aren't you covering the Cybersecurity Act? We're really the first to be covering it in the last couple of years, since I saw the Pentagon proposing it. And it's actually in my last Obama film, and we just covered it last hour. You were asking what I thought of that. Did you just tune in, Chris?
Well, yeah, because I'm sorry, I had my speakerphone on, so I apologize for that.
No, that's okay, but I'm trying to understand the question. You prefaced it with them trying to divide us. Yes, most of the attacks we get are just nonsensical. It's like, why don't you expose Masons? We do. Why don't you expose corruption in the Catholic Church? We do. Why don't you expose corruption in the Protestant Church? We do. Why don't you expose corruption in Israel? We do. Why are you covering up 9/11? Why are you not covering it? We are the progenitors of it, of exposing it. So, yes, but I mean, really, people should ignore that. The establishment just wants to get us all fighting with each other in a melee, in this big melee, so that we don't go forward and reach out to other people with mainline stuff. So that when we go and talk to our neighbors, we're gibbering about weird fringe stuff instead of, hey, did you know the Federal Reserve is private? Did you know it stole 23+ trillion? You know, did you know that they're setting up a world government? Did you know that the White House science czar wrote a government policy book about how they're drugging the water and want to take our children at birth and eradicate the family and put implantable chips in us? Hey, did you know the Wall Street Journal's reporting that they want to terraform the planet and to reduce world population, and engineering Earth is feasible? BBC News, how they're chemtrailing us. I mean, see, I appreciate your call. Mike Rivero, you want to comment on what he was saying?
Well, you're absolutely right. I want to comment on what you were saying. You're absolutely right. The government is out there trying to keep us fighting amongst each other. It's called divide and conquer, whether it's the young against the old, men against women, black against white, rich against poor, 9/11 truther against government supporter. The idea is that we're kept in little tiny fragments of society squabbling amongst each other. What the government is most terrified of right now is that we, the American people, are waking up to the fact that we are just one American people. And if we actually come together with a single idea in mind, which is that the government is the source of all of our problems, then the government knows it's going to be finished. And they're trying to find some way to prevent that from happening.
And the government plan is to make government so big, destroy the free market, destroy private property, destroy self-sufficiency so bad that they'll have a giant 100 million person army of total moron, TV-watching, welfare check-cashing fluoride heads that they can point as a weapon at anyone that doesn't serve them. And they plan to employ all this scum and all this weak-minded people to serve them. But, you know, I have a higher view of the American people than the elite do. I think folks are waking up across the board, and I just don't see it working. I see them staging terror attacks, a new Oklahoma City to try to blame on us. But this isn't 1995, is it, Mike? That isn't going to work.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. The old methods just don't work. They're not getting it. That is our biggest hope for the future, is the people who are in charge of the government and the intelligence agencies really are a bunch of old Cold War fossils. They're just like Jay Rockefeller. They wish the internet would go away, but they don't know how to deal with it. They don't understand that the world in which governments could lie to their people on such a scale simply does not exist anymore. And if they persist in playing the game as if it does, sooner or later, they're going to commit an error, a lie, or an act so great they will not be able to quell the public backlash.
Well, I mean, 84% in the New York Times poll believe they're being lied to about 9/11. So everybody knows about Gulf of Tonkin. They know about Ajax. They know about all this now. The Army field manuals, how to stage terror attacks are public. I mean, it's over for them. And they may buy some time staging terror attacks, but it's only going to make it worse. And if I was a Fed and wasn't part of this, I wouldn't put my kids in federal daycare centers, because the feds will target daycare centers. They want the image of bloody children. And so, to the feds out there, if they kill your kid, I'm your friend. I tried to warn you, okay?